Once again, hello and Allah. Part time is 11:14. Still, today is the 9th of the May. It's the second time tonight. So I'm going to continue the blessed Mathnavi of Baha'u'llah. So Baha'u'llah continues on the last session. He says, I will not turn away my face from the sword of this nobodies, these destitutes, even if they kill me 200 times as infidels. Then he continues on that line. He says, Khamreto nushid jaunam zebteda. Khamr is the wine, Persian. Khamr, sharab. Khamr actually is not Persian, sharab is Persian. Khamr is Arabic for sharab, wine. Persian they say sharab and may. Arab they say khamr. Khamr, to is you, nushid, drunk. Janam is my soul. Zebteda, ze is a separate word. Ze from ebteda. But we make it as one word, eliminating this sound of A, and you just say zebteda. Ebteda means in the beginning, from a start. So Baha'u'llah says, my soul drank your wine from the start. From a start, from the very beginning, I drank, he says, your wine. هم به یادت جان دهم در انتها. So to your memory I shall give, deham, give, my life at the end. So he says to God, this is Baha'u'llah the human, he says to Baha'u'llah the Holy Ghost, he says on the very beginning, I drank your wine, and to your memory, for your mention, I shall give my life at the end. So he's trying to bring this ibtida and intaha in one. That is, ibtida is the intaha, which means the moment I drank, I will give my life. Not intaha is later on. It's right as soon as I drank, I give my life. Then he says to the higher self again, ای بها یک آتشی از نو فروز. O Baha, set a new fire. O Baha, glory, the Baha'u'llah, yek, one, atashi, a fire, as from, no, new, furuz, set fire. A blaze, he says, a new fire. To do what? عالم تحقیق و دانش را بسوز. Alam means the world, tahqiq means investigations, and danish, knowledge, bisus, radha. So he says, O Baha, set a new fire and burn away the world of knowledge and research. Tahqiq means research, investigations, which when we look at the writing of Baha'u'llah, you have to be seriously obsessed with it like me to see how much of a change the writing of Baha'u'llah has created in the world of religion, because that's the only one it's compared to. For example, I've said in my book about that. They ask him that, can the copper turn into gold? Baha'u'llah says all the elements, they'll reach to the same state. They're all interchangeable. He says that naturally while he was alive, before 1863, and it's not too long after that, there was something happening in Germany, and they didn't know what it is. A fellow called J.J. Thomson from England, when he found this out, he found this is electron. a part of, from cathode goes to anode, a blue ray. He said that this is electron. This is a communication between the elements. He saw the movement of electrons. So electron was discovered, 1905. It was later on that Sir Rutherford from New Zealand, also from Canada, and finally from England, that he found neutron. And he found neutron turns into electron and proton. He saw that through the beta decay, as he was shooting them on this surface, that an element in this manner can change because if the number of electron or proton increases, naturally you have a new element. That's all the difference are. So that day it was found, I don't know, around 1915, 1925, that Sir Rutherford found this. It might be 34, I don't know. I think it was before that. So that yes, all the elements can change together. How did Baha'u'llah know about this, that all the elements can change together? This is not some kind of a prophecy that you think, okay, he prophesied this and this happened. A lot of people have a dream and dream may come true. But this is huge what he says. One of the many things he says. So I asked myself, how would he know this? How could somebody who hasn't gone even to school in the Persian language and Persian literature understand this deep the world of the material? Baha'u'llah would not reveal a lot of things, but when he was asked, he would question, they asked the questions, if he deemed to be necessary, he would answer. And a lot of other things Baha'u'llah said. So this is where it says, set a new fire, just burn away whatever is the research and knowledge. I'm inviting people that they want to know what it is. Let them go and see, investigate this word of Baha'u'llah that he has said. It is in the gleaning from the writing of Baha'u'llah. It's right there. How would he know this? This is a huge scientific, fact. And if a prophet just throws it right in there and tomorrow it is wrong, then there's a problem, isn't it? So it really burns what we know as knowledge and as science. But Baha is also a general term, because the Baha of God is everywhere. All the Baha'is means they are from Baha. The Baha is in all the Baha'is. He asked that Baha to burn continuously. This is why my videos are a sign of that. I brought a lot of things to you, an ocean really, of what is Baha'u'llah said. I'm just understood in my understanding of it. That's what it says it is. If you get to that point of connection and communication to God, you will be like a computer that is connected to the internet. Small computer, but its connection to the internet, you ask any question from that computer, it'll answer. That's how Baha'i should be. Then he goes, he says, Pak kun, jan ra z awsaf jahan. Pak kun, cleanse, jan ra, the soul, ze from, awsaf, attributes, attachment here, attributes of material life. Jahan refers to this world, universe. This is the whole, the soul can get contaminated with the material. So you're saying that how could that happen? Soul is not material. But how could the soul get contaminated with attributes and attachment that are in here? That's precisely the problem. It's not a literal mingling of the soul with the matter. No. Soul is like a driver sitting in a car. Car and drivers really have no connection in that sense. This is biological, that's mechanical. But these biological things can operate the material. In such wise, the soul can operate this material and can be attached to it. Soul can get attached too much to his dog. What dog likes. You know, some people are fascinated with their dogs, with their cats. So that's sort of way we get fascinated too far into it. And that really stops us from being soul. We have to be possessor. I'm sorry, we should not be possessor, we should be user. A lot of people in North America, they have dogs and they say this guy's attacking dogs and cats. And no, I'm not attacking dogs. Actually, I believe the first messenger of God to human being was a dog. People were dying a million years ago. God had to send a means of protection, brought this dog, and dog was outside his people and was eating from their leftovers, and he would bark. And from the bark, they knew that something is going wrong, and people started to defend, and that's how they domesticated dog, or dog domesticated man or something. So, but the soul can get attached to the material things. That's precisely the fear of the death, is the attachment to this life. I've said before, we have to practice to die when we get older. You know what is hard about it? It's hard to give away and leave what you love. Even the books that I love in my library, I have to let go. Even these things, any things that I love, I have to let go. My children, my everything. So we kind of have to be prepared that before we die, let go and cleanse ourselves. Give away what you love too much, because that's what's going to have to happen. As you get these things done, you become totally detached and renounced. You can die very easily at that time. Just like you're sleeping, you go sleep. Otherwise, it's very hard for you. There's attachment. Sometimes so difficult that the soul, when it gets cut off from here, like surgically has to be removed. Imagine you want to pass a door and the door slams back and your hand is in the door. What are you going to do? You have to let go of your own hand. How hurtful that is. It is the same situation. Attachment to the material. Baha'u'llah says, "Pau kun jan rauz awsaf jahan." The attributes that are in this life, it says, cleanse the soul from these attributes, because they do not belong to soul. And then it says, of course, when you clean it, the result is Bargoshaw Ramzi the Asraure Nahan. Open up a secret. Ze from mysteries of hidden. Nahan means hidden. So open up from the hidden mysteries a secret, a code. If you do cleanse, that will happen. Talking again to himself, موجی از دریای ژرف معنوی، موجی از دریای ژرف معنوی، موج, a wave as from دریا, ocean, the sea, ye of, ژرف, fathomless, deep, 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 معنوی, eternal, celestial. So, a wave from the ocean, eternal ocean, the fathomless eternal ocean of wave, barfakan, throw up. Throw till فلک لفظی بشکنی، برفکن تا فلک لفظی بشکنی. برفکن, again, throw that wave. تا till فلک, Falak also is written like that, but folk is F-O-L-K. Folk means the ark of Noah, ship. Ship is folk. Folk lafzi. Lafzi means the word. This ship of the word, break it says. Because the ship that these people are talking about is just the word. They don't understand what it means. It says if you take from the depth, fathomless ocean of the eternal, fathomless ocean, if you throw a wave and break this ship that's sailing over this ocean, but it is just a word. Lafzi. Lafz means accent. Word talking. So یک قدح در ده کتاب از خود رهم. یک one قدح. قدح is Arabic for the jam. Jam is chalice and cup. قدح means the same thing. It's another word for the cup. یک قدح, give me one cup. در ده, give it to me. که, that, ta, till, as, from, خود, myself, raham. Raham means get emancipated, set free. Give me one chalice, one cup, so I become selfless, emancipate from myself. What is this self-emancipation? Is this mix-up? Some people are a goni bag, their characters. Everything falls in there, it's just a mix-up. The animal is mixed up with human does the animal thing. Others, their soul is like their body. There's an animal part to them, there's a human part to them, there's a spiritual part to them, there's a vegetable part to them. Everything has got its own compartment and department. So, if you say, I emancipated from myself, which means, ego, in that sense is not so much of my arrogance towards the other. There's no. That myself, I am conflicting. I have conflict with myself. I do not know how to distinguish some of these things that happens. What's spiritual, what's not. I think the girl I'm in love with is totally divine. Well, then I have a problem. I do not know who is the real beloved, what is not beloved. To be able to distinguish oneself, analyze it, catalog yourself, and you know how many self you are, and things that you do which self is, you have emancipated from the self. Otherwise, it's not the idea that I let go of my human, that means I die. No, you can be there and yet be emancipated from the animal desire, from others. So, یک قدح درده کتاب از خود رهم. Offer me a cup, a chalice of it, that I emancipate from my own self. همچو صفتر پرده ها را بردارم. Saftar is a particular word, it's peculiar. Actually, two words. Saf means line, Q. Dar means the one who breaks down the line. This has been used usually in the fight, in the battleground, when there's one real gallant, he goes on, would attack the whole line of enemy and breaks the line. That is called Saftar. And Saftar is, particularly among the Shiites, so as Baha'is, is the title of the successor of Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad. His successor is Imam Ali. Ali has many, many titles. One of them is Saftar, means the one who break the enemy line, because Ali was such a gallant that he would go and, in the name of Islam, he was the sword of God. Muhammad ordered him, and he would go and break the enemy lines. So he says, Hamcho Saftar, like Saftar. This is reference to Imam Ali. Pardaha ra bardaran. Not the enemy lines, but pardaha, the veils. There are many, many veils, it says. You have to break away these veils, like Saftar, like Ali. So, talked about Imam Ali Saftar. Let's tell you a little bit about Ali here. When foreigners, those who are not Muslim, they read these stories of violence in Islam. This was the question a Baha'i was asking me about some of the rule of God, even in the Baha'i faith, is very violent. Like Baha'u'llah says, burn away the arsonist. If a person is going to try to burn a house with people in it, Baha'u'llah says, burn him. That's pretty violent, isn't it? But it is not. It's very difficult to get it. It's a topic of its own. I'll have to discuss maybe someday. So Islam always associated with violence. People say, violent religions, nothing but fight. But it wasn't the case at all. On one of these battles, where the enemy were lining up to attack the Muslims, Muhammad, the Prophet of God, was in the front, and Arabs, they used to bring their number one champion in the front and invites anybody who wants to fight him one-to-one, like a duel. In many occasions, if these two champions from the opposite army, if one killed the other one, they will declare defeats and they'll go or whatever, accept the term of defeats. And one of these battles is called, I think, the Battle of Khaybar. The non-Muslims, they had some huge guy, really big guy. And Imam Ali was rather short. They brought him and he came and, he says that, who can fight with me and this and that. And Muhammad, the Prophet of God, sent Ali to take care of it. Ali came in, Ali is short, he takes the sword off, and one shot cuts his legs. The guy fell down. So Ali goes there to finish him. What this guy does, he spits on the face of Ali, spit on his face. And Ali turned away. Muslims are saying, kill him, kill him, kill him. But Ali's returned. For a few minutes. Then he goes back and he killed him. They ask him, what was that halt? He said, Imam Ali said, he spit at my face and made me angry. I didn't want to kill him because of my anger. I have no personal qualm with this man. I'm not a killer. I'm following the order of God. So I forgave him for the spit on my face, and I made sure that I'm not angry. Then I went back and killed him for the order of God, not for myself. There's many stories about Imam Ali. This is one of them. And he's called Saftar, the line breaker, that breaks the line. So, this is another 5 line. Time is pretty much 11:39 right now. Oh God, there's so much to say. And Baha'u'llah says, the excess of a speech is a deadly poison. I have to watch that. I am the candidate for that word. All right, see you again.